What if I told you there is a single mistake that could be costing your company $500,000 right now? We're about to break it all down, but hey, before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button for @BrandTagOff so you never fall behind on critical shifts like this one. Okay, let's dive in. So let's just start with a hard truth, and this quote sums it up perfectly. For years, the job was basically rebuilding the same buttons, the same forms, the same tables over and over again. Well, that whole era is officially over. The game has totally changed, and the old rules of front-end development, they just don't apply anymore. All right, so what is this $500,000 mistake? It's simple, really. It's clinging to an old, outdated way of doing front-end engineering, a model that, almost overnight, has gone from just standard practice to a massive financial liability. You know the drill. For the last decade, the job felt like a craft, but a really repetitive one. You'd take a Figma file, and then you'd manually code the same tables, modals, and forms you've coded 100 times before. Every single new page was basically a brand new project from scratch. It was custom, it was slow, and man, was it expensive. But that traditional manual approach is getting completely blown up. And what's the driving force behind this disruption? You guessed it. It's the insane acceleration of AI, which is now automating the very tasks that used to eat up all those engineering hours. And the scale of this AI takeover is just staggering. Look at this number, 41%. That's how much of all code is projected to be generated by AI this year. This isn't some far-off future trend. This is happening right now, and it is fundamentally rewiring how we build software. And listen, this goes way beyond just suggesting a few lines of code. We're talking about AI handling entire workflows now. It can automatically convert a Figma design into a full component tree. And even crazier, we're seeing these agentic workflows pop up. Think of these like little autonomous AI teams that can learn your UX, design a new feature, test it, and ship it, all with very little human help. So this brings us to the most important question of all, right? If the old way is totally broken, what are the winning AI-native teams doing differently? How are they using this disruption to their advantage instead of getting steamrolled by it? Well, the answer is a whole new playbook called front-end composability. And this isn't just about working a little faster. It's a complete shift in philosophy. It's about stopping to think in terms of individual pages and starting to think in terms of reusable, intelligent systems. So what is a composable system? Honestly, the best analogy is just Lego. Instead of handcrafting one single static model of a house, you're designing a perfect set of reusable Lego blocks. These blocks, your buttons, your forms, your menus, can then be put together into any experience you can possibly imagine, on the fly, by a designer, or even by an AI. This table right here really nails the difference. See, the old way was all about execution. Your job was to make something that perfectly matched a Figma file. But the new AI native way, it's all about enablement. Your goal is to design a powerful, flexible ecosystem so that your users and the AIs can build their own solutions. The whole focus shifts from just implementation to true architecture. Okay, so how do you actually make this happen? It all comes down to 5 fundamental mindset shifts that your engineering team has to adopt. Let's break them down, one by one. These 5 shifts are really the heart of the AI native mindset. It's about moving from the day-to-day tactical stuff to the big picture strategic stuff. You stop obsessing over individual pixels and start thinking about the overall brand promise. You stop building static pages and you start designing dynamic workflows. And maybe the most important one, you start building for AI consumers, not just human users. Let's dig into a couple of these. First, instead of building one single static page, the new job is to design a flexible profile. Think of it like a template that can generate hundreds of different views all by itself, just by adapting to different kinds of data. You're designing for infinite possibilities, not just one fixed state. And second, the focus shifts from static design patterns to dynamic workflows. So instead of forcing your users down one single hard-coded path, you're basically giving them the ingredients to create their own recipes to get their work done. You're empowering them to solve problems in ways you might not have even thought of. Now, this next one might be the most mind-bending shift of them all. Your main user is no longer a human. You have to design for a world where 99% of the interactions with your front end are going to come from AI agents. Your system has to be built for them first, with clear APIs and predictable, reliable behavior. So what does all this mean for the front-end engineer? Well, their job completely transforms. They go from being just a ticket taker on a software assembly line to something much, much more strategic. They become system architects. They become designers. Their real value isn't in writing code for one little feature, but in designing that entire ecosystem of Lego blocks. They model customer workflows, they set the rules for the AI to play by, and they become the ultimate guardians of the user experience, making sure things like performance and accessibility are baked into the system from day one. So yeah, as the slide says, front-end engineering is dead. Long live front-end engineering. The old role of the pixel-pushing coder is on its way out, but what's replacing it is a role that is so much more strategic, more powerful, and way more critical to the success of the entire business. So the one question I want you to take back to your team is this. Are you still building pages, or are you building an ecosystem? Because the answer to that question is going to determine whether your company is spending an extra $500,000 just to get left behind in this new AI native future.